Well, I was asked to participate just as a scientific advisor. I didn't participate as a researcher. First, we have to come back to the intuition of the project. Huh? To deal with climate change, you have to create tools to have a communication between the climate modelers, because ultimately that's climate which matters. Second, technology, because that's the engineers who can say what are the real margins of freedom, what are the leeways, the options, and so on and so forth. And economics, because of these you have some cost or benefits, some general effects. You can imagine that you launch such a huge transition without a real impact on the economic mechanisms. So this project was about to try to create these tools, thanks to the progress in competitions, with the emulation of models, the coupling of models to the exchange of data with models, and that they are represented the three communities. And I think that's obviously one of the first steps. So you can never say when in this type of context that the project is achieved, because that's no achievement. This is a 10 to 20 years challenge. So that's very nice and very important. These three communities succeeded to produce something jointly and to make the first step in this process. That's a great achievement in this sense. I think we have made a mistake in the past. Some people make mistakes in terms of presenting climate change as immediately a big disaster. I think this is not alone a big disaster. This is a very large-scale process. We will aggravate, we will make worse already tensions in the world. If you are rich in good health, you can pay, you can protect yourself. Climate change is not a problem. The problem is that this world is full of tensions, and when you have lack of water in some places, this will aggravate the tensions between the people there, and so on and so forth. Will accelerate a lot of mechanisms at play in the world. So climate change is a real symptom of something wrong in our system. And this was the message of the Channel Review. I don't agree with everything in this review. I agree in the message that climate change will really be a big problem, like energy problem and other problems. But this, on top of these ones, this will make our world worse. And so in this sense, I think that I'm on the pessimist side of the climate change. I believe that this is a real problem. Although I disagree with this idea that you have the big catastrophe with that. Okay, that's if you do that way, the people don't believe, and I think might be it will not happen. I don't know. We don't know. Science doesn't say exactly what will happen, but we know enough to say that a lot of tensions will grow up, and that's in that sense I'm really pessimistic. And now, in terms of politics, because I was involved a long time ago in the French. I'm still involved, but at the margin. I was really an actor of the policy making process between Kyoto and COP6 in La Hague, and we are in a bad situation. We are in a very adverse context, because we have crisis in the world, we have crisis in Europe. And the temptation will be to say, well, we have so many problems with unemployment and so on and so forth that we have simply to delay any action in these things. So this creates a very bad context. I'm just on the pessimist side on this to answer this question, unless and we have 4 years. We don't have 10 years. We have 4 years to launch a process with some hope of collective action. And one of the reasons for saying that we have a simple way to find a way out is to say, well, because we are in a crisis, if we are clever enough, we can explain that the energy transition, but beyond energy concerns, transportation, urban forms, agriculture, and so on. This metabolism or the productive system in the world. This might be a way to present climate policies, not alone, but as one of the components of reaching sustainable growth. Now you have the word green growth, but this is not the magic formula to say, well, if now in Europe, for example, we can invest in buildings, in agriculture to change the way agriculture functions, transportation systems, energy. This might be a way of relaunching to organize a recovery of the EU economy. If you create financial products based on the carbon avoidance, then you can at least make more clever the financial system. All these type of things can be put on the table. This is relatively complex, but because we are in a crisis, might be that in this type of crisis, might be the governments might be clever enough to pick the opportunity, and I will not bet on that, but there's a chance, but the time is short. Because if we miss the next rendezvous, the next meetings in 2015-20, that will be too late. That's in that sense, we have really to be mobilized to try to explain to the people, to the public opinion, and to the policymakers that there's an opportunity to pick. Not only to respond to long-term problems, but to respond also to the short-term problems, and to demonstrate that responding to the long-term might be a way out of the short-term traps.